Hey everyone, I've got a bit early patch notes, so I'm gonna go through them and upload on YouTube, so you guys get the initial thoughts on that earlier from me. Yeah. So we're gonna go through that, and yeah, there is a lot of stuff. I just scrolled through, but there are 23 pages. That's a lot. Very poc. All right, let's check out. What lurks in the depths of Legends of Runeterra US expansion? Let's hope you don't find out the hard way. Rise of the Underworlds introduced a new keyword, lurk, as well as 43 new cards, including 3 new champions, Echo Pike and Rek'Sai. I don't know what Echo does yet. Like, we've seen Pike, we've seen Rek'Sai, they are extremely cool. And we've seen Echo followers so far, yesterday. And I'm hyped for Echo. We'll see today. Alright, card updates. Hi everyone. With the release of the Rise of the Underworlds, we are also including a large list of live card updates. The scope of changes in this update is much larger than past live design updates because we've packaged together a number of live design opportunities that we have identified over time. The changes below will provide us a better foundation to make live changes in the future. We'll be back as soon as we have an updated philosophy of how we are going to make these changes in a way that is sustainable, true to our values, and we'll keep hopefully the metagame fresh. We'll show our plans as develop to give everyone a solid understanding of a cadence and size of the future balance. Legends of Runeterra has changed and grown quite a lot since we launched, so please bear with us while we continue to develop and iterate on live design. All right. Yeah, the previous system, they did like the last good live balance things they've done. I think it was the patch where they buffed Braum and Anivia and other stuff. Like, that was the last good patch, I believe. After that, they changed the philosophy and it went down the drain. So happy to hear that they are gonna reevaluate that. Note for 2.11 live updates. Due to the large number of changes, we won't be providing context for each change like we usually do. Instead of, we'll share our goals and philosophies that guided us leading to these changes. Targeting the top. Irelia, Azir, Nasus, Thresh, Trundle, Lissandra, and Raventex. Ooh, Raventex actually. Interesting. I didn't expect that one. Ah, okay. Yeah, maybe... Yeah. I don't think they can nerf Nafaron further. I don't think they can make Draven free too as well. Wait, they gonna nerf Tribeam? That's the only card they can actually nerf in this without hitting other decks. Alright, let's see. But how do you just make Tribeam cost higher? Maybe they just made Tribeam 5 cost or something. Alright, let's see. And the changes we consider for other cards would be largely overshadowed with the current power level of the top decks. We want to tone down each of these decks to allow room for other strategies, but not go so far to completely remove from the metagame. We want the decks to exist without dominating. Similar to the first goal, we want to consider what decks are currently strong, but maybe not popular that would likely replace the current top decks. We want to avoid simply replacing one dominant strategy with another. So there will always be decks that perform better than others, but we want there to be a high variety in popular decks to ensure the gap between the best decks isn't too large. Okay? We want these changes to help emphasize the identity, strengths, and the weaknesses we target for each region. Some regions have drifted away from their intended strengths and... Oh wait, I just realized, if they nerfed Tribeam, like... that would be actually the smartest way they would do that, because like after revealing Alanzq and the 3 mana new unit, you actually don't play Noxus anymore. So like Draven hit and Pharaon hit wouldn't do anything because you go into Freljord now with the Alanzq. So yeah, probably Tribe has been changed mana wise, or it starts at 0 damage. But I don't think 0 damage would make any sense, so it's probably 5 mana now. Some regions have drifted away from their intended strengths, and yeah. For example, buffing Ionia's flexibility with combat tricks and recall buffing Bridgewater incidental Damage are big bets with bigger payoffs, and some nerfs to Targon have more pronounced weaknesses, rather than being good at everything. All regions can perform. As the popular decks evolve and change, there will naturally be some regions that are more popular than others. However, we don't want any region to feel far less fun or powerful than the others. Well, it's not the case right now. Specifically, we want to buff at least one champion in each region and ensure all regions had at least 3 cards receive a buff. Okay, I like the mindset. The future. We have several releases of new cards coming in a short amount of the time. 2.11 Rise of the Underworlds. Yep, tomorrow. 2.12 Summer Event release. Yeah, but do you get the new cards during Summer Event? Oh, wait. That's a... I think that's a Xerath. If I'm not mistaken. Xerath patch. 2.14 next set release. Yeah, and 2.13 probably just a balance patch, you know, or like cosmetic patch. New card releases tend to have a big impact on deck popularity. In general, we try to avoid doing many live design updates alongside new cards because the changes are usually overshadowed by the new cards. Yeah, but again, if you don't do some changes, like when you release new cards, they are impactless. They don't do anything. Like if the deck maintains like this being the strongest, like yeah, like last patch, it's not the case. You got Azir Irelia, which actually kept in check Trandalise on the ladder. But again, Nasus Trash, nothing changed. It got actually received buffs with new cards. Trandalissandra, if not Azir Irelia, it would be just Trandalissandra Mirrors all the time on the ladder. And yeah, like you have to realize like you have to be able to tell the when the new cards will be kept in check anyway by all decks. Or all decks will just get a better tools with new patch, and the new decks won't have a chance to shine. Like the perfect example for that is just you release Zillian, very cool champion, but you release alongside as a Merciless Hunter, which literally you play Zillian, you run into Merciless Hunter, and you lose so much tempo and value. It's just it's so hard. You have to play so hard behind at this point. It's not even fun. And those will be closely monitoring the impact of our changes and try to respond very quickly if we aren't hitting our goals. If we aren't seeing the desired outcome from the changes in 2.11, then we might introduce more changes in 2.12, but our hope is that further changes won't be needed quite so quickly to maintain a fun, diverse and healthy meta. We'll see. Our game is constantly changing and the landscape of popular decks is always evolving. We are making this game together with you all and value your feedback to help us make the game as fun as possible. Yeah, but just ignore Reddit, please. We hope that you are excited, as excited as we are about the future of lore. We'll see about that after the patch notes. Alright, champions. MF level 2, no cures to overwhelm. Yeah, they killed MF with the change. Like, she needs to have overwhelm. That's a proper. Like they realized they made a mistake and they reverted the change. Good. Jarvan. Level 1. Allies have level up requirement. Allies have survived 4 strikes. That's a very good change. Like Jarvan was already playable. The reason why Jarvan and it got even better because like you would already play J4 in the Shen deck because Shen got both. It's a solid deck. The only reason Jarvan wasn't played because it was Azir Irelia. Like it was just too slow for the meta because like you couldn't afford 6 mana. Do nothing pretty much unless you card like Karma Challenge and like Blossoming Blade didn't really achieve anything into the matchup. That's why J4 wasn't too good. Like a further buffing, this is now like I wish they make one more change to the J4, but that would probably make UI a bit more complicated or something. Or just when you attack with 6 mana, give you a choice that you don't want to play J4. Because sometimes you want to open without playing J4. That's very important. I don't like that it forces you to play it even if you want to maintain mana. But now he's perfectly viable. Yeah, Shen J4 with the new boat, definitely good. You just cut the J3 for the J4 in the deck. J3 for the Shen boat. Alright, Tryndamere level 2, change Overwhelm, Fearsome into Overwhelm, Fearsome and Tough. Oh, they put Tough back. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it depends on the meta. Can't tell how. Like, if the Tryndamere is based on the Targon popularity, it gets shut down by Targon heavily. If the Targon gets nerfed enough, Tryndamere, like, stuff is nice to have, especially if there will be more big units coming that were 8-9 damage, like from the lurkers, and Tryndamere having tough might actually matter. So like this is a nice touch buff, but most of all, like again, Tryndamere was not playable because of the Azir Irelia and Targon, very persistent in the meta. Again, nerfs to those will be a bigger buff than giving it a tough, but still good thing to have against lurkers in the late game. Oh yes. Oh, use karma. Finally, 5 mana back. Let's go. This is the most bogus champion for me. My favorite champion got fucking buffed finally. God bless you. Rubin, God bless you. You heard me. Yes. We playing karma tomorrow, chat. Irelia level 1. From 12 to 14 attackers. I don't think that change is necessary. Other cards need address. I think Irelia was fine. Irelia was not a problem. Other cards were the problem. Azir was mainly a problem. But yeah, this change says they don't want to touch Azir, unfortunately. So they're just gonna nerf other cards and remain Azir probably untouched. So considering the Azir Irelia deck, that delays basically level up by 1 turn usually, because you usually until this will like unless they change the blade search obtain requirement and like a mechanic, maybe not requirement, because right now you don't always get the blade search when she levels up based on the Azir and dice and Irelia placement. Like if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check out the video on the blades on that, on how to get the blade search when she levels up and when you don't get it. But again, yeah, significant nerf to the deck will matter. Riven, level 1 and 2. When you gain attack token, reforge. When I'm summoned, if you have attack token, reforge. And like this was needed, like this, yes, this is how she was. Like they were afraid to release the Riven like that because they maybe thought it's too powerful, but this is exactly what she needed to be. To get to reforge right on summon as well. Good. That's a very good change. That's exactly what Riven needed. Heimer. So about Heimer, the stats are not the problem. The problem are the tokens he creates. He needs to have a threatening token. Like this usually won't matter. Like unless they nerf Merciless Hunter, it still doesn't matter. He just dies to Merciless Hunter. Level up stats doesn't matter. Being 2-4 is a nice touch, but not having elusive turret, which was a win con of Heimer on 3 mana, or at least make it 4, makes him still not particularly too interesting to play. Especially that you can just play Vi instead. Like if you put Vi next to Heimer, she has way more value, and like on the tempo. Like Heimer in this current meta is too slow to play. Like he needs to threaten, and right now Heimer is not very threatening. Hecarim. From 5-5 to 5-6. That's a good change. And 6-6 into 6-7 respectively. But again, depends how fast meta will be. Giving it 6 HP actually matters against all the 5 drops. Like against all the dragons. We're buffed with the Fury, makes it out of the reach. Yeah, Shyvana with Sharpside doesn't trade into it without Fury stack. Okay, this could be okay. We'll see if the Hecarim will be good. But I don't think this does anything. Hecarim is just too expensive for what he does. But I might be wrong about Hecarim. I might be a bit biased towards it because I never liked him. I never played even a Hecarim meta. He had so many counters when people thought he was so OP. I just like I don't know. When they nerfed him, I never thought he was good in the first place. I think Hecarim was always a noob trap. The deck was straightforward to play. You just curved out into Hecarim and you usually won the game against people who didn't know how to pilot against the deck, or like had some meme decks. Anyway, we'll see. Azir level up. Oh, actually they nerfed Nazir. Okay. Level up to 13 units. Okay. Okay. That's a significant change to the deck. But again, it doesn't address the problem with the deck. If they didn't nerf anything else in the Azir Irelia, it's still good. Like all those changes just delays your like you have to just change the game plan a bit. You don't go for the turn 5 kill, you go for turn 7 kill. You might just go for a bit top end, like not top end, but a bit greedier version. Or just play slower, just pass more, and upkeep combat tricks for specific units. We'll see. But if those are the only changes, Aziralia is definitely still on the plate and one of the best decks. Because it will still prevent certain decks from existence, because they are just unable to kill Azir. Nasus changed from Fearsome to no keywords. Nasus level 2 and 3 still have Fearsome. That's a pretty big change. That's a very big change. But I like it. That's a good change. Being able to have a blocker, like to trump Nasus with anything and like glimpse or just sack that unit is important, because previously you have to sack meaningful unit to Nasus. Now you can just trump it with anything, and like even like you can trump it with 1/1 and just Valve is your own unit, which is nice. Prevent the strike. So now leveling up Nasus will be just harder to level 2. Good change, regardless. Give a level 1. Level up requirement, you have dealt 35, you have dealt 30 damage. Severe was already good. I'm not sure why. Buff the care further. Severe was already a decent answer to the certain meta decks. This is... I don't know. I think... this is changes made purely based on stats. It's not like based on the Severe strength. Because she was already played in a lot of decks. You had Severe Damacia decks, you had Severe LeBlanc deck, you had Severe Overwhelm deck. I don't think there was a reason to buff her. But this will definitely help. Like, why not? Just make her easier to level up. Alright, Talia. Attack. Deal 2 to my blocker. If it's dead... Wait, hold on. So this was the previous time. And now it's changed to attack. Deal 2 to my blocker 3 times. If it's dead or gone, deal 2 to enemy nexus. Hold on, what did change? Is it 2 more damage or... Oh, there is no landmark condition. I see. That's a good change. Again, will it change anything? I don't think so. Talia has the problem of the board space and being too slow, like especially if then nerf Azir Irelia further. But again, we got some new tools to deal with Azir Irelia, which is nice. So, alright, we'll see. I don't think this change, like the Talia landmark condition, changes anything. Again, I stand by my point. Talia needs to be cheaper, because the problem with the landmark is your board space, massive issue. And like, yeah, makes her just... she might be one off sometimes in the decks, but that's about it. Alright. Taric. They buffed him further to 3-5 actually. So he went from 2-4 to 3-5. Interesting. There could be finally Taric deck chat. Like 3-5? You can play Taric on turn 4 pretty much now without any punish. And there's a blocker, and then you can... Yeah, I think Taric might be actually... This change makes Taric viable. Because what you can do, you can just play him as a blocker. Like, you can play Taric now with like triple guiding, triple pale deck. Just like an option to heal it, and yeah. The problem with Taric before this change would be that you play on turn 4, and like you just have to take face damage because Arik is too vulnerable, and it's your win con. Now you can just like opponent will be not eager to attack into you because of that stats. That's actually that 1 HP will be a massive difference, and depends on the meta. But yeah, I think Taric will be put on the map again, like he was ever. Now there was a meta where like Taric looks was decent, that we played to top 2 on the EU. But yeah, this change, very good. Very happy to see that. Aphelios. Oh, back to 3-3. Okay. Good change. I don't know. Weapons are slightly expensive. I guess you're just not gonna be going with the playstyle where you just cycle weapons now with Aphelios. You're just gonna play Aphelios the way where you pick a weapon that's good in the matchup and you're just gonna behold on it. Like, let's say you're playing against Aziralia, you're just gonna go for the lifesteal weapon. But the problem is you'll need to play Aphelios in the... probably only in Damacia. Because again, if they didn't nerf Aziralia further, if you play lifesteal weapon, like you just get a homecoming and you are like, okay, let's go next. And yeah, Targon, like SI has no tool to, like has no other tool to deal with it. And yeah, probably just Targon the Damacia instead. But a very good change, like happy to see that, definitely. It's just like the mana cost nerf on the Aphelios to being 3 mana changes the playstyle a bit. Forest spells and landmarks. Make it rain 2 mana. This is massive. Like I talked about it, that the card needs to be at 2 mana already before, and on top of that we have a card that's coming out. It was revealed, the Berserkek. Berserkek was already good with TF. Like you could play turn 4, opponents develop, or yeah, just opponents. Anytime opponents develop, you can go do Berserkek into red card and you just obliterate opponent board unless they have combat trick for your Berserkek. And then having Make It Rain as an answer for even cheaper for 2 mana is a big deal. Like you can do it turn 5 now, easily. Like opponent will have to respect it. Like if they gonna Mystic Shot the keg, like they gonna play a removal for the keg. If they do, you have Make It Rain answer. Like having the 8 mana on turn 5, Berserkek into TF red card, into opponent trying to kill your keg, into Make It Rain. It's a board wipe, usually. Big change. Very, very happy to see that. Bilgewater definitely back on the map. It was underplayed region, and with the changes, solid again. Black Market Merchant, 2/2. Okay, even better. Not weak. Like the reason why it's good, because again, Make It Rain got buffed. TF will be played. Black Market Merchant will be weak to all the 1 damage pings. PNZ will be played because of the Static Shock. There is a new card that deals 1 damage. Black Market Merchant going to 2. This patch is actually significant. And again, there will be Yoink decks with Make It Rain, TF, and Berserkeks. Good change, good hindsight change. Happy to see. Yeah, double up. I don't know about that card. I can't tell if it's gonna be good. It's a pure meta call. But I think you have Harpoon now. Yeah, why would you need double up? Like the deck literally has a Harpoon. I don't think you ever want to play double up in this. But a challenge, some people might try it out. I can respect it. Like I think this is more of a change. They want to just make a change here to see If it's gonna make it playable, I don't know. This is or just make a change to make a change just for the bragging that we made more changes, perhaps. But yeah, we'll see about it. This card, like, yeah, most of you probably doesn't know what double up does. That's how bad the card is. Alright, Slotbot. Change. Run star. Grant me +0, +1 for each card you drew last round. Then shuffle my power and health. Yeah, that's previously. Now, on summon and run start. Grant me +1 for each card you drew last round. Oh, on summon? Like, Slotbot was already, like, there was a meta where Slotbot, I actually liked Slotbot a lot. But right now, having it on summon, like, that's a 3 mana unit. If you drew, like, let's say 2 cards last turn, if you, let's say, play, like, if you carried out one into, like, turn 1 Butcher into turn 2 attack with the Black Market Merchant into Slotbot, that's a 1/6 for 3 mana. That keeps growing. That's a respectable change. Definitely good unit. Like, the thing is, the reason why it's a good card is it in the actually, I don't remember if Slotbot is in Bilgewater or PNZ. But I remember playing it in Bilgewater deck. I'm gonna assume, oh god, now I feel bad because I don't remember. Anyway, Bilgewater lacked a good free drop. This makes Bilgewater have a good free drop. Like, previously, you had, like, Jal Hunters as a removal tool, but nothing else. Like, sometimes you just don't want to, like, Jal Hunters will get worse because there will be much more one damage pings. So it will make less sense for Jal Hunters. But Slotbot, looking hot. Confront, Shyvana's Confront. 3/2 mana. Very much needed change, we talked about it on the release. Yeah, solid. Glad to see that. I don't think there is much to talk about it. Very happy to see that. You cast it, okay, you never main deck Confront, like, let's be honest. It's only matters for the Shyvana buff. Yeah, sometimes you casted it. Being more mana efficient at Dragos is very important because you strive for mana. Mage Seeker in Sinter, 4/3 to 4/4. So it goes to what? 6/5 now? Or 6? It goes to 6/6 or 6/5? I don't remember after casting 6 cost. Either one. This with the change to Aphelios, with the change, it could put back Lux on the board, honestly. Like, Aphelios Lux was already decent. Tariq Lux was decent before. With this, there could be Lux back. We'll see. Laurent, Bladekeeper, from 2/3 to 3/3. So that's a 3/3 +2/+2 on free drop. In Damacia. So that's a worth of 5/5 stats. So before it was like Elnuk worth. It was 4/5 where you could just buff any unit. Now it's 5/5 worth, and you can actually trade with the free drops to your Bladekeeper. 2/3 was really bad because it didn't trade anything. 3/3 makes it actually being able to trade stuff. Not bad, but there is one issue. 4-drop slot is very heavily occupied in Damacia. Making Bladekeeper buff was definitely necessary, but will it make good? I could see Bladekeeper only in potential elusive decks, because what do you want to really buff it? Like think about it. Only units that actually can go face, lifesteal on Wincon. Like, so that's Fiora, Aphelios, and elusives. Maybe some Zoe, maybe Ezreal. Like, depends what do you want to pair it up with. But again, either elusive units or like a Wincon units. Wincons are mostly champions, like again, Aphelios, Fiora, or yeah, elusives. Yeah, we'll see what are the other changes and the other reveals. But I don't think this will impact anything. Unless there is back to the unless we're gonna be back to the either like Z elusive meta, where Blade Keeper comes on 4 into the turn 3 play. Howling Abyss from 7 to 6 mana. Okay. So about Howling Abyss, it was already playable in like a Freljord SI, heavy control deck. The problem was 7 mana. It was coming slightly too late, because your turn 6 was kinda awkward. Like, I was testing it with Trundle, Lease, Braumlease, but having it, like, the fact that the key part is playing Ravine too late. Like, if you play Ravine on 6, it's a bit too late. But if you play Ravine on 5 into Howling Abyss, this makes actually it way better. I love this change. This puts Howling Abyss from meme to actually playable card. And yeah, you could get to master already with Howling Abyss deck. I was playing Howling Abyss on the Gauntlets and I like got Prime Glories every time. So yeah, very good change. I love it. Rune Shadowblade. Base stats from 3/3 to 4/3. Again, that's a 4 mana unit. The problem is 4 mana slot is so occupied right now that it's hard to squeeze in units that don't do enough. So if the reason why Rune Shadowblade could be good is this, because it has significant damage and it creates a discard fodder. And like if you pair it up with the PNZ got a new card that requires a discard. There could be space in the potential Karma Ezreal, or we'll see how good is Echo in Karma Echo, where you run Rune Shadowblade as a discard fodder creation and applying a pressure to Nexus. Because like I'm thinking of doing Karma Echo, depends how good Echo is, or Karma Ezreal. If you play Karma Echo, you can play the 3 mana predict card that makes multiple cards of copies in your deck. You're gonna be playing heavy cycle deck, and you're gonna be running triple get excited, triple mystic shot, and you're gonna be trying to hit mystic or get excited and play a Baron deck. So what Red Shadowblade would be jobs that you would want to hit once or twice Nexus, because obviously opponent won't want to block for damage. A quick attacker, yeah, because it's a tempo loss, value loss, and yeah. And on top of that, we'll be creating a discard fodder, which is really needed in the... Because right now we have only bot in the PNZ Karma, pretty much. And that would be another one, which would justify triple Ramage, perhaps. We might play Rune Shadowblade in the Karma deck. I'll definitely put it in and test it. If we're gonna be playing Echo version of the deck. If it's gonna be Ezreal, I'm not gonna play it. But if in a Karma Echo, definitely. Gonna try at least 2 off. We'll see how it pays off. Also, yeah, you can block a 4-drops now with this. That's good and creates a discard fodder. It trades 1 for 1, you get a card, potential blocker for 1 mana if you need it. Yeah. The more I think about it, the more I like it. Dancing Droplet, elusive, attune, elusive. Oh shit, there we go. Okay, this is a big hit. This is a big hit for the Azir Irelia. Yep. There we go. This is the big, like, it doesn't look big, but Attune was actually big. Because what happens if you could curve out Droplet into dice, attack with dice on 2, let's say, into Irelia on turn 3 and have a blade and being able to play Blade Dance. Or you could play Azir and threaten Shapestone. Threatening Shapestone usually was a big deal, and or having even Shapestone and killing the unit because you attuned on turn 1. Not having Attune on Droplet is a massive nerf, like massive. Holy moly. Alright, so there we go. 3 nerfs to Azir Irelia. Gringlet Lookout from 2-1 to 2-2. I like it. It makes your top-end units cheaper. Good change. But in what deck would you like to play Gringlet? Like what kind of top-end unit would you like to carve out sooner from Ionia? Or what would you need to pair up Ionia with to make it good enough? That's the question. Maybe Echo will be 10 mana and we want to play it an Echo deck. We'll see. We have to wait. But right now I don't see much use to Lookout, but that's a good change for the future. Young Witch, from 1-1 to 1-2. Those 1 HP, like the reason why those 1, I love all the changes where 1 HP units get 2 HP, because again, TF, Make It Rain will be back to the meta. And PNZ will be meta. And all those units will be unplayable otherwise. I love this hindsight buffs. They're really smart. Good job. Will of Ionia from 5 to 4. Oh, damn, we are back. But the reason they nerfed it before, because it was like, it was very oppressive in the Anivia, Trundle, Tryndamir meta. Having it back to 4, I think it's good. Meta got faster. We don't have as much greedy stuff anymore. But, guys, we got another buff to Karma deck. Karma Echo or Karma Ezreal. I'm happy. That's a good change. We don't need to run Homecoming anymore. Nice. Wait. No, another Ionia buff, Twin Discipline, 2 mana? I always like the card. Like, you played it free off in the Heimer in the past. Depends, again, how important will be... Like, okay, so this change will be relevant if you need to keep alive... If there is incentive into keeping Echo alive on the board. And he's cheap. Because this change, with all those changes... You might not want to run this in Karma Echo, but if Echo is good enough to like sustain the board presence and pressure, this could be good, like same as Heimer. Huh, this could be good even if, like, Heimer Ionia could be back, potentially, because of this change and Will of Ionia change. Like, there is enough changes for Heimer. Cool. Heimer Karma perhaps again. They made so many changes, they made deck so much faster. Maybe Heimer Karma could be back on the menu. Who knows? And it just... So Karma Heimer, you played previously as a Baron turn 10 deck. It just a cycle, and Heimer was just there to preserve the board space. Like, preserve the blockers for the... And just stall until turn 10 and apply a bit of pressure, take your opponent nexus to like 16, 14, and then you OTK opponent with Get Excited Mystic Shots Karma on turn 10. That changes with Heimer change could actually make Karma Heimer back again. In Sissif Tactician, from 4-5 to 5-5. Yeah, he needs to be 5 damage. Like, it's an 8 cost unit. Goes down to 5 after Reputation proc. But again... it's too expensive for what it does. It's a rally 8 cost. It's, I don't know. I'm not a fan of unit. Good that they buffed it, but again, not a fan. City Breaker. From 0-5 to 1-5. Okay. I like it. City Breaker, we tested it. Zero damage really hurt it. Considering that you can use a City Breaker now, so you can block to potentially 1 to 2 units, sometimes even 3, and it has a board presence. Depends on the meta. If the meta is very like unit combat based heavy, this could be good for the Sedge Swain deck. J Menarda from 4-4 to 5-5. Not bad. 5 damage, potentially for reputation decks. Trades with more stuff, is way more resistant, it's +1/+1. J Menarda is getting viable slowly. One or two more patches and he'll be good. Nah, just kidding. I don't know, again, can't tell how good it is until we see what's in the meta. Again, if Karma becomes the meta, or like Ionia becomes the meta with a Will, he's not gonna be good. Henchman from 5-3 to 5-4. Nice change, I don't like the unit, I don't think it does enough. It's a 5 cost, 4 HP, it's not good enough. Ramar, oh wow, this is...
Stings, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is a big nerf. Ooh, Ramash 2 mana. Okay, our plan with Ren just got smacked. 2 mana Ramash is such a massive nerf. Holy moly. Damn. It's as Draven hit also. Damn. Yeah. Probably needed. Ramash might have been too strong. And probably could be too good with Echo, perhaps. Like, we don't know what Echo does yet. And we received a lot of good PNZ cards, so yeah. Definitely playable as one-off still. I don't know if you want more than one though. Ooh, yeah, this is what I thought. Tribe him to 5 mana. This is what I like. When they talked about Draven nerfs, I knew that's not gonna be that Draven nerf. Like, yeah, it could have been foreseen. They introduced 2 new, very good 3-cost units. They couldn't remain Tribeam and untouched. 4-cost was too good. 5-cost, yeah, I probably fair change. Damn. When I've seen first Tribeam, I never thought they're gonna need to nerf it. But yet again, we weren't aware how good S-Raven will be back then. Because of the Faron. Watcher. Oh, finally, chat. Everyone were waiting for that, huh? Attack. Obliterate Dane. The change. I cost 0 if you have summoned 5+ allies that cost 8+. Okay. This is one of the changes that we talked about. Could be easy solution. Obliterate all by 3 non-champion cards in the enemy deck. Oh, they just changed it to Maokai. That's a boring change. They didn't touch Matron probably, if they did this. They killed it, kind of. They kind of killed it. It'll be on. It won't be a ladder deck anymore. It'll be tournament deck only, if any. Raza got buff. Oh, they just buffed the stats. I hoped for the cost change. I don't know. I don't. This is irrelevant for me. Again, this change, I think TLC is gone from ladder. It will be only good in certain meta in the tournaments. And there is no way. It's not powerful enough. It's not gonna finish the games fast enough. Problem is this, like, there is no way Watcher TLC was decent for the ladder because it was fast. Like, it was so, like, it was the second fastest deck to play after Azerelia on the ladder. Now, it's not only win rate will deep, but also it got way slower, like super slower. And also we received so many counters to TLC. Yeah, this is probably just, yeah. Now we could have left only like Thrall's version of the deck, honestly. And Thralls will just play to smoke you down with Watcher just being an extra unit, not even caring about obliterating, just going face and for value. I think it's fair to say that TLC should be dead on ladder. I think the only version that would be still decent will be Thrall's version. Yeah, Raza change, I don't think it's meaningful at all. He costs too much to be good. Dusk Rider from 2/5 to 3/5. Again, costs too much for stats. Okay, so I was talking about this. I love the change. That's what I said. A-bomb needs to go to 4/2. He's too strong to be 4/3. Very good nerf. Love this. This card made the deck too powerful. The Butcher A-bomb too powerful. Love this change. Happy that this is exactly what I asked them to do. Not ask them, but I hoped they would do. Okay, that's better said. And they did it. Love this. Stalking Shadows nerf. Ooh. That's a big nerf. Was it needed? Maybe it's a future nerf, but was it really needed in this meta? In the upcoming meta? I don't know. We'll see. Whoa! Clockhead? They buffed Clockhead? It was already a good card. Why? Okay, guys. Thralls? Stonks. Thralls? Definitely stonks. The deck wants to smork you. They gave another card that can smork you. Good. Trals back on mini. Should be very good into the Lurk deck because they are too slow to kill you. If you go online on turn 5-6, you just punch them back faster. Yeah. Azir Aurelia nerfed. What stops Trals to being one of the best decks now? Oh, I know what stops Trals from being the best. Ionia. Okay, I guess we. Wait, hold on, I need to change some. Check. Did they change Will to recall landmarks or only Homecoming does recall landmarks? I genuinely don't remember. No, just units. Yeah, so you'll need to probably run still Homecoming in the deck. Yeah, cut that, Victor, please. My email. Yeah. Raz Bloodmane. Too expensive. It's still like it's a. Is it? Yeah, it's too expensive for what it does. I don't know. I don't think this is meaningful. But I might be wrong. Okay, Doomkeeper needed a nerf. They didn't want to make it 1-1, I guess. It would be too too big of a nerf, so they made it 1-2. I like it. Like, I'm happy to see any damage nerf on the Doomkeeper. If it's swaps, stat swap, that's fine. It's a very good blocker now. Like, a very good play on defense. And I was always fan of the defensive play of Doomkeeper instead of offensive. But again, that fits more my playstyle. Oh wow, Mountain Sojourners got buffed to 4-5. This makes Tariq train even better. We'll see. Yeah, it makes some trades now. Okay. Tariq train decks, potentially. We'll see other changes and reveals.
Everyone okay?
Sun Guardian. Oh, I don't know about the Sun Guardian change. It's not too good. You don't want to main deck that card anyway. Star Shaping. Emantrov healed from 5 to 4. Yeah, so we either thought they're gonna change Star Shaping to 6 mana or make it 4 HP heal. 4 HP heal is less of the nerf. I like it. It's most of the time it's not relevant. Like, if it's 5 or 4, it literally doesn't matter. You usually either heal a unit. Like, the amount of the times it matters on the Nexus was very, very low. But again, we'll see. They nerfed other stuff they buffed other stuff in Targon, so it might not be meaningful. Oh, never mind. They just butchered Serpent out of the Oblivion. And this is a massive nerf. Because what happens, look, they buffed all the units to 2 HP, that from 1 HP that are now playable as well. Holy shit. Serpent got butchered. Oh god, you never want to play Serpent anymore. I mean, you'll pick it as a blocker sometimes, but that's about it. Holy moly. Yeah, but Serpent was too strong. Definitely. Like, he was picked way too often on above other options. Oh, and they butchered Fangs on top. I guess we got a Baphilos buff in that spot. Yeah, Fangs is kind of unplayable now. Fangs was barely playable. And they just, they just killed it. That's fine. Like, we're gonna have other places in that spot probably. We got some skins. Wait, we get Sandstorm Echo right away? Oh, damn. I wonder if it comes with the animation. Wait, they revealed the Pike. Okay. Pike skin looks sick. Board looks sick. Damn. Okay. Nice card back. Nothing too crazy. Unlucky. I need to see the animation of that. Alright, chat. Very pog. Very happy to see this patch notes. One of the best patch notes I've seen. Anyway, this will be the end of the video, a bit longer one, but again, can't wait to play. Make sure, guys, if you enjoyed the video, you subscribe to the channel to get notification on the further videos. Also, we'll be doing a lot of guides this season, so keep in mind that. Have a great one, everyone. Cheers.